Yo guys, so what's up guys? I hope you guys have been enjoying the real estate content. I gotta showcase more after reviewing some of the videos that I've dropped. I gotta showcase more of the stuff that I do in the residential field. For the most part, a lot of my business lately hasn't really been in the residential because the average person these days does not have the money to buy a house, right? And with that being said, I honestly just want to have a real heart-to-heart conversation with you guys about the truth about real estate, investing in houses, and flipping houses, and things of that nature, right? I'm gonna just be honest with you guys, right? So, I know there's a lot of people who, post 2008 or even before, people who bought real estate in the 90s and they got into investing in the flipping houses. They were able to get the properties for a very cheaper rate, and they were able to flip them and make a nice little $10,000, $20,000, $40,000, $50,000, some people even 100, 6 figures, right? Well, so my camera actually shut off mid recording, right? But as I was saying, right, in 2026, guys, and 2025, 2020, I feel like it was 2020 where a lot of people were marketing that people should get into flipping houses, people should get into investment properties to make money off of rental. And I'm gonna be quite frankly honest with you guys. For those who know who Grant Cardone is, I've been to Grant Cardone's office. Grant Cardone, for who you guys may not know who he is, Grant Cardone is one of the biggest real estate investors in the country. And he said something, because at a point in time, a couple of years ago in Miami, I actually got interviewed by his company to work for them, right? And with the potential of working with him, one thing that I learned from Grant, of course, that situation did not work out, but what I learned from Grant is that investing into residential real estate to flip and to make passive income off rentals, especially when it comes to single family home, is pretty much impossible, and most people do not make money. Guys, I'm gonna just tell you guys the real. Most people, I've been in the real estate business for 7 years. I've yet to meet somebody who's gotten rich off of flipping houses, let alone have gotten to meet somebody who is able to retire off passive income from rental properties. The idea sounds good, but it's not really realistic. Let me tell you guys why. At the rate that the real estate market is going right now, taxes and insurance are killing people's profit, which a lot of people's profit, especially those who were trying to get into properties, and of course they were getting loans to buy these properties that they really couldn't afford. And people started to lose their jobs. People started to take on more expenses that they should not have taken on. A lot of people are in a place right now where they can't afford it. And then also, the people who bought these properties, while they can't afford to maintain the mortgage on them, they're steadily trying to raise the rent, and the average consumer in America can't afford the regular rent. And what a lot of people, and I feel social media has played a huge role in this when it comes to perception. A lot of people who invest in the residential real estate and trying to mimic what rich people do. Guys, there's a difference between being rich and investing into real estate for tax haven purposes, and there's a difference between people trying to copy rich people and investing into real estate thinking that that's going to retire them or make them a whole bunch of money when you're using other people's money, aka debt, that you really can't afford to pay off. Huge difference. And a lot of people got caught up in the hype in 2020 and the years after, using the BRRRR method, the buy, rent, repeat method. That method does not work and is not profitable for most people. The average person who did it in 2020 is broke. Most of these people who have invested into these properties, invested into single family home houses. Guys, investing into single family home houses is one of the hardest things to do, let alone to get rich from or even make a living off of. A lot of people have put their all into investing into real estate, where residential real estate, where the average person, unless you already have millions of dollars to play with and $1 million in the bank, you're not going to make a lot of money flipping houses. You're not going to make a lot of money getting a whole bunch of single family rental houses. The numbers and the math doesn't make sense, especially if you guys are buying these properties with debt that has interest on it, that the average person already can't even afford. Then, not only are you charging rent to try to get your mortgage paid off, when one thing goes out like the roof, HVAC, any major appliance, you have to cover that, and that eats into most people's profit. And these are like the type of stuff that a lot of agents are not really going to tell you, but I'm going to tell you guys because, I'd rather be honest before I lie to somebody and tell them like, yo, this is a great investment. And part of the reason why this takes place a lot of times, guys, is because a lot of you guys as real estate professional doesn't take the time to run the numbers with you to where it makes sense to make this move before you make the move, if that makes sense. A lot of people get into the real estate business. Okay, we want to flip this house. Let's run the numbers. Let's make sure it's actually worth us doing, because a lot of times the same stuff that you guys are going to go get loans for, going to go invest into real estate to make passive income or to even flip it. A lot of you guys can invest that same energy into doing something else that will warrant you a way quicker return on your investment without having to do half as much of the work. Another thing is labor. Labor is so expensive these days, especially with people getting deported. It doesn't really make sense for a lot of people who are getting into the business. They can't afford it. And all around, I say this to say is, unless you're super duper skilled at what you're doing in the residential field, most of you guys getting into this field to invest are not going to make any money at all. And that's just the truth. Like, most of you guys are not going to make any money at all investing into real estate. And this is something that also a lot of people don't really understand. Part of the reason why I got into the commercial space. Most rich people who invest into real estate, especially they own a lot of the residential, a lot of those people did not get rich off real estate. They got rich off of business. If you look up anybody who owns a whole bunch of real estate that they did not inherit or they didn't have money given to them by their parents, which I'm not hating on that, most of these people got rich in business first. Then they deploy capital into real estate to offset a lot of times their taxes. And that's just, free game that it's not really on YouTube. So I thought I'd go ahead and give it to you guys. But make sure you guys check this out, like, subscribe, and share. I'll see you guys in the next one.